Hi, this is Cheryl for Cut at Home. Today I'm here with St. Nick. St. Nick is just a little bit early, as you know, but he's here courtesy of Sizzix and Tim Holtz Alterations. Look at how cute this die is. This is one of the bigs, Sizzix big dies, so you really need to have, because it's so thick, either the Big Shot or the Big Kick or something like that in order to be able to run it effectively. But it's got all of the pieces are right here. You can see the negatives of the cutout pieces right over here and some of the positives over on the other side. We start with the base piece, which is represented right here, and actually you can see it here. This is what you'll use to build the Santa face, and then you can effectively pop it on a card as I've done here. I like that it's got all the detail intact to help you to place the other pieces. Now when you're cutting, let me just say you want to cut everything in white, but there are certain pieces that you want to cut in color. So let me go back to this representation and show you. You want the holly in green, the hat in red, the little nose in pink, the eyes or eyelashes here in black, and the face in a peach color or something like that, or at least a tan, in order to make this work out. So you'll have to go back and cut those other pieces. As always, I recommend cutting, just the smaller pieces of paper and aligning them on the die in order to make it work. Once you've cut it out once, you can kind of see where everything sits. So you'd have a small strip of black paper, for example, right here, a little bit of pink over in the corner. Right here you'd have your peachy face color, your holly color here, and your red in this corner. And that way you can cut out the pieces that you need in the colors that you need in order to make Santa work. But we're going to use this white piece to build on. The first thing that I did in creating my card was to edge all of the pieces. I used two different distress inks, the antique linen and the tea dye, both. So I've gone around the edges with both. I used my little marshmallow tool in order to add that color. You can add use the blending foam or whatever you find most comfortable for doing that, but that adds a little definition around each of these pieces, including the holly. It's harder to see, but it's there. It makes a difference from the holly uncolored. You can also see that through my fun flock, this shows through, so it adds the dimension that I want. I can see my mustache, where if I had just used the flat white paper and added the fun flock, you wouldn't be able to pick that mustache out. You'd just see a little bit of a bump where the extra paper was, but you wouldn't see the definition. You wouldn't see the definition around the edges and that sort of thing. So edging is important whether or not you want to flock it. So the next thing I did, once I edged everything, was to add my colored pieces in. Now, what I like about this particular die, and let me remove this piece so you can see a little better, is that the cutouts are there to help guide you on placement. You can see my holly I can place fairly easy because the edges are right there. So all I have to do is match those up. The hat, of course, is going to match my edging up here. We know where the hat goes. Now the face, I know, goes around here somewhere, and so I'm just going to place it right about here for the time being. My next piece to go in is the mustache. This, if you can see this little curly here at the side, that's the edge of my mustache, so that really helps with placement. As I line that up, I can better see that my face isn't exactly where it belongs, and I can actually slide that back down into place. So they've thought of everything in giving these pieces, in giving us the alignments, and just making things easier to build Santa here. Excuse me, St. Nick. St. Nick is his name here for this particular die. So from there, I added my fun flock. Again, I added all the pieces first in order to do that. My fun flock should be the last step. Otherwise, you've got a bit of a cotton bally mess to sort of work with. This is Fun Flock by Stampendous. Very easy product to use. Whoever's brand of flock that you have will work for this, though. You want to add a generous amount of glue and then add the flocking over top. Like everything else, you add much more than you think. You're just going to sort of press it into place while that glue is wet, and then as it dries you can sort of brush off the excess. But work a section at a time. He's a little too big to try and do the whole thing at once. If you do that, you've got glue drying, so areas stick better than others, and you're going to have to go back and do it again. Trust me, I tried it. So do him a bit at a time. So perhaps start with this area up here, add your flocking in, then work over to this side and work on around his beard and his mustache in order to get it complete. Again, it doesn't take much time. Just remember and be fairly generous with your glue. It does take a fair amount in order to properly adhere the flocking and to get enough of it adhered so that you can actually see that it's there. But again, it's a fun touch. You can see that my edging shows through this, so it gives me great definition right here in the mustache area. You can clearly see what's going on. So I love how that turned out. That was an easy part. As a little embellishment over here, instead of adding berries to my holly, I added a little heart. Just a little fun touch. Add what you think is most appropriate for your card. And then finally I added the see you soon here in the top corner. I just used these little Tim Holtz Ideology label letters. Very, very easy to apply. You just pick them off the sheet and add them over at the side. Doesn't so much matter that they match up or not. That's really not the point here. My background paper is Graphic 45. This is from the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas collection. This is the page called Merry Mistletoe. So again, a lot of fun. It was great that I was able to isolate around the Saint Nick so that could appear immediately above his head. Just adds to the card in a little way. So it's a lot of fun die, absolutely perfect for the season. It's Tim Holtz Alterations Saint Nick. I know you'll have a lot of fun with it. Thanks for watching. Bye.